what I want to share is very important because I'm speaking directly to those of you who have something that you want that's beyond your reach at the moment. And you don't know how you're going to get it, but you know you want it. This is a story of myself and how I was able to do it. So speaking from experience, I had a environmental technology degree right out of high school, and then I worked in the fishing industry doing observing, like counting different species that we would find in the oceans and the health of them, measuring them, the biodiversity, different kind of weather conditions, how much my boats were catching, and all that kind of stuff. It was really interesting work. I love being at sea. And one of the things I love about like fishermen is they're kind of rebels like myself, and they don't really like buy into the matrix 9 to 5, like the regular way that we can live. So they were already like fringe people, and so I got on really well with them. Anyways, it was pretty fun. There was lots of good moments, lots of stinky yuck moments too, being on fishing boats. And being a woman on a fishing boat, there's some interesting stories for sure. But anyhow, to my point, that career ended very tragically with a boating accident, and it was a very serious one. One of my guys that I was on lost his life, and I nearly lost mine, and I felt that I could no longer go out at sea and feel safe. So I quit and went on leave, and I went back home to my mom's house, and I was in therapy for a couple years and very sad and lost, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I was 26 when this happened. And then I basically tapped into my metaphysical, spiritual meditation, my I guess what really happened, to be honest, not really part of this story, but it's coming up to share. Maybe some of you have felt this way. But it was like an existential crisis, because when I was in the water, I did not feel any spiritual connection. And I have believed in spirituality my whole life. And I was right at the edge of life and death. And I did not feel any angels or any spirit guides or any support or help, and I was so angry. And that's really, I feel, what kept me stuck for a few years after the accident, is that I was questioning everything I believed in. It was pretty crazy. So anyways, my mom helped me kind of get back on track, and she's helped me refocus, and her and I went back to school with a community program about running a company, and we thought, well, we could open like a cool little coffee shop, art studio, metaphysical shop, and we could do that together, and we like get along so well, my mom and I. So we went to school and we were doing that, and one of the exercises was to build out spreadsheets to do cost analysis on staffing and rent and shipping and financing and how much money you would need to start up a company, and then how long you would need to sustain that, and if it was possible to have a successful company and make money, which is why most of us, aside from feeling that we're not very employable, want our own companies to make money, of course. So at that time, the metaphysical shop in town, Winds of Change, was for sale. And I thought, well, I might as well get real numbers. And so I went to the realtor and I got her real numbers. And I thought, God, this makes a lot of sense. Like to have mentorship, the continuity of a business that's 30 years old. It's the prominent one in town. It's got a great location, right on the main street. Everybody knows its name. So I just said to myself, I'm going to buy this. And this is kind of the real story that I wanted to share with you is when everything lines up, however messy it is to get to that point, but when this point clicks with your highest self and your guides and the universe and your physical self, and there's this point of magic, of silence, when you're like, yes, I want this. I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but this is what is next for me. And I was locked onto that, and nothing could get me off of that. And the reality was I was on welfare at that point in time, living with my mom. I had no savings, no money, no connections. And I managed to piece together $150,000 of loans. I managed to have strangers like knock on my door and offer to give me money and financing. Like, I mean, I have stories that are unreal, really, to the human mind about how the universe moved mountains so that I could buy that store. And I had the store for 14 years and I managed to sell it, and now I've moved on to Mexico and a new whole part of my life. And I have all those beautiful experiences, the hardships, the wins, the times that I help people, the times I upset people. I mean, I've just got such a wealth that came from owning that store. And yeah, sometimes we don't know how or why or any of the mechanics, but you don't need to. And if you're trying to manifest something, I want you to hear this. If you're trying to manifest something and it isn't coming like effortlessly to you, then check your thoughts and your feelings. And do you want that, or are you doubting yourself, or are you thinking maybe I don't actually want a store, maybe I want to go traveling, or maybe I want to go back to school? Because these are the little waves that slow down the machine that's like manifesting for us. So I know 1,000% sure you can have any kind of life, even though you don't know how, as long as you can be open to the signs and take the next steps in front of you. I wish you all the best.